For a limited time, purchase a 30-day all-access pass for the regular price of $349 and get a second 30-day all-access pass for free. For the next 60 days, you will get all plays released across all sports from your favorite WagerTalk handicapper, including 5% best bets for under $6 per day. Have an existing all-access pass? No worries. Your 60 days won't begin until your current package expires. This offer expires Sunday at midnight. Don't pass up your chance to get 60 days of picks for the price of 30.
All righty, guys, welcome in. Time for another edition of the Pony Pundits here, powered by WagerTalk.com. We are just a week removed from the 147th running of the Kentucky Derby. We're close to the Preakness, the second leg of the Triple Crown, but got a pretty big stakes race coming up this weekend at Belmont, the Man-O-War Stakes, and who better to help us, guide us to cash in the tickets here this weekend than the two very best. Here they are, Marco D'Angelo in the house, Sig Bag in the house, straight off of a monster pick five here this week. Sig, we'll talk about that in just a minute. But Marco, I want to come to you first and get your quick thoughts on last weekend's events, what we saw at the Kentucky Derby, and what do you think it means moving forward here to the Preakness? Good afternoon.
Well, Joe, as soon as they crossed the wire, all I had to say was effing Bob Baffert once again. That's just unbelievable. This horse, the $1,000 horse that was resold for $35,000 as a 2-year-old, wins the Kentucky Derby. And honestly, Joe, the race was done pretty much at the start. At least it definitely was done for my top choice. Rock Your World got rocked right out of the gate and out of the race, ended his shot at the Derby. And then Essential Quality and Hot Rod Charlie had a little problems out of the gate, but they got themselves back in position, had a chance at the top of the stretch. I thought one of them was going to go by Medina Spirit, but neither one of them did. So kudos to Bob Baffert and team. They got it done once again. We'll see what happens come next Saturday for the Preakness. Be interesting. Bob's going to have to race two of his horses against one another.
Decisions have to be made next week, Sig, but it's funny coming around the turn. I wasn't sure if Luis Saez just was valeting and he wanted to go to the parking lot and then make I wasn't sure what the hell he was doing there with Essential Quality, but your thoughts on what we saw and what does it mean moving forward towards the Preakness?
Well, Joe, moving forward toward the Preakness, I think it's going to be a softer field than he experienced in the Kentucky Derby. And I think having the addition of Barnumay Concertor in there is going to make it a more interesting race for the Baffert group. But you go back, you look at last year's race, 2020, with Authentic, Baffert, and John Velasquez. They got out to the front and never looked back. They did the same thing this year with Medina Spirit. I did not expect that. I know Marco didn't expect that. Our top choice, like he said, Rock Your World, was taken out early in the race and never recovered. It was nice to see Essential Quality and Hot Rod Charlie both get back into contention late in the race. But it basically Medina Spirit and Velasquez were never giving up that lead and pretty much taking it there. The Preakness is going to be a much more interesting race, though, I think.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. It's going to be fun to see who shows up, who doesn't, what are some of the big trainers do. But we got to get through this weekend here for the Man-O-War. And, of course, as usual, guys, we'll run through the 8-horse field and break down some of these horses. But, Sig, I just want to congratulate you on a big day this week. I believe a pick 5 was in order for you. And not only that, it was in order for anybody who decided to head over to WagerTalk.com and your page, because I believe this was up and locked and loaded for people this week, wasn't it?
Right, Joe. We had a rough Kentucky Derby and Oaks weekend. If you ask anybody that got the package, it wasn't pretty. My bankroll took a hit. I'm sure other people's bankrolls took a hit. I wanted to do something for the subscribers, so we gave out yesterday's Churchill Twilight card for free on the site. Anybody could have downloaded it, and we did hit that late pick 5. It was a $192 ticket. Came back over $1,367, I believe. So it was free money out there to be had yesterday. We're back today at Santa Anita. Card just kicked off. So the sheet's still available. 8-race card. We're going to be at Santa Anita all weekend. I had some Nevada guys contact me and say, hey, we can't bet Churchill here in Nevada. Can you give us something that we can play? So we're going to look at Santa Anita and probably Belmont here for the next few weeks, other than next weekend's Preakness.
I love it, man. Marco's still waiting for his that email, I guess, that had that pick 5 on it, because he's been bitching and moaning about it the entire time. That's a whole different story, though. In the meantime, Marco's doing quite well on his own, guys. In fact, he is on a ridiculous 31-10 ATS run now in the NBA, and you might have saw it in the beginning here. The opportunity for you guys to hop on with Marco right now for 1 month of all access. Well, you get 1 month, you're going to get a second month for free, a buy one, get one opportunity right now for Marco, who is absolutely, guys, and I mean absolutely crushing it in the NBA. So, Marco, awesome stuff there. Congratulations. It's going to be a hell of a playoffs for the NBA, but not to mention the All Access Pass gives you access to not only the NBA, but everything that Marco's got going. So now would be a good time for you to head over to WagerTalk.com, get the Marco's page, and take advantage of the buy one, get one All Access Pass. Going to be fun. It's going to be a profitable weekend across the board. All right, guys, let's start diving in here a little bit to what we've got coming up for this race in the Man O' War. And I believe, Marco, you're going to pass to Sig. Sig's going to get number 1 here. He's the odds today. Is that how it is?
What's the odds on the number 1 horse, Joe?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question there. 4,000. Yeah, so it's actually yours. No, I'm only kidding over here. No, we got number 1. We're going to go with Sig here because, well, we like Sig more. So, Sig, we're going to go number 1. Talk to us here. Number 1, Sovereign. We got Jackie Irod Ortiz. Anytime we're talking about Ortiz and Chad Brown, that combination, not a bad way to go. Talk to me about the number 1 horse here in the Man O' War at Belmont tomorrow.
Yeah, Joe, Sovereign's very interesting here. He's a European import making his first start in North America. He's going from the barn of Aidan O'Brien over in Europe to the barn of Chad Brown. Both are pretty much world-class turf trainers here, so he's not going to get much of a downfall with a trainer change. Like I said, this is his first race in North America. He was running in grade 1s against some of the best horses in Europe. He ran second to Enable, who's one of the top turf horses in the world, and headed to Japan. And at Ascot last summer, he beat Anthony Van Dyke, who was in the Breeders' Cup a couple years ago in 2019. So I think he's a pretty strong horse. I think he's coming in here as one of the top class horses against this field. And Brown turf horses making their first start in North America are winning at a 26% rate, which is pretty good here. He is 8-5 in the morning line, which I think is a little bit low for this horse. And today's turf was listed as good at Belmont, and they expect possible rain tomorrow. So it's going to provide a little softer ground, which is going to be more to his liking of what they race on over in Europe, a softer or yielding turf course. So I think he's a strong contender in here. I would use him on all your tickets.
Love that. All right off the bat with Sovereign. So, Marco, we're going to go to number 2 here. Not too bad. I love this horse. Moon Over Miami. And listen, over the years, Bill Mott has trained some pretty good turf horses here. What do you think of Moon Over Miami here this weekend?
Well, Joe, this horse is right up your alley because I know you've seen many moons over Miami and late at night, maybe some midnight bourbons involved and everything else. But Moon Over Miami is an intriguing horse, Joe. This is a horse making his 3rd start. Now, this is a 4-year-old. You can see, maturity in horses going from a 3-year-old to a 4-year-old. They quit with this horse back in October gave him some time off, let him regroup and, develop. I mean, these horses aren't done growing yet. And now we make the 3rd start of his 4-year-old campaign. You've heard me talk over and over again that trainers, whenever they had a horse on a long layoff, and this one went from October to late February before they debuted him for 2021, that 3rd start off the layoff is when you're going to get the best effort out of that horse. And if you look at his first 2 efforts, Joe, he had a 3rd place finish where he was closing big in the lane, finished 3rd, got beat only a length and a quarter, followed that up with a 2nd place finish last time out. Now he's making a jump in class. This is a tougher competition, but I think he's poised and ready to make that next step. Can he win this race? I don't think he's quite as good. His speed figures are improving with each start, but I think this is a horse that would be used better on the bottom side of your exotics. Maybe the bottom end of an exacta, definitely on the bottom end of a try and super to help build that ticket with a little bit of a price, because there's going to be two other horses in this race that are going to take most of the money. But Moon Over Miami has a shot to hit the ticket.
Love that. All right, I thought you were talking about Denny's. There's not like a good Moon Over Miami's egg sandwich there, but we'll move on here to the number 3 horse, Sig. Talk to me here about Zayed. What is this? I believe new here, actually, making the 2021 debut after coming to the U.S. late last year. What do you think here as a 6-1 morning line odds?
Right, Joe. I like Zayed here. He's run third in all 3 of his North American starts. He started out his career in Europe. They shipped him over to Woodbine in October 2019. He ran third there, shipped him back to Europe, where he ran most of last year before coming back to North America. He ran third in the Sycamore at Keeneland, and then came back and ran third with the lead at the top of the stretch in the Red Smith at Aqueduct. He's raced without Lasix in Europe, so we know he won't have a problem with the no Lasix in stakes races here. And he's coming in here off a 5-month+ layoff. He had no problem winning his first start last year off an even longer layoff, so that's not a concern for me. Though Graham Motion isn't great with horses coming in off a layoff, I think he's one of the best horses in this field here. I think he's one of my top win contenders. He's still going to get overlooked in the betting here. Like I said, Sovereign's going to get some attention. Guffo, a horse we're going to get to later, is going to get a lot of attention. So I think the 6-1 morning line here is going to float up, and I think he's going to be flying under the radar. He's going to be running late in this race, I think, and I think he's got a big shot. Definitely a win contender, in my opinion. And definitely on your tickets if you're playing exotic tickets. I think Zayed has to be on your tickets.
Yeah, I can't think of a better horse for Marco to break down than the number 4 horse here, guys. Let's talk about So High, because you probably have to be that high, Marco, to bet him at 50-1. This is, listen, it's an 8-horse field, Marco, but this just feels like one of these horses where you're going, what's going on here? What do you think right now with So High?
Yeah, what's going on is I got the even numbers and Sig got the odd numbers, and I get all the horses that are on the way to Elmer's Glue Factory. I'll tell you, this is the only thing I could say about number 4, So High. I would have to be as high as Tony Finn high to bet this horse. Okay. Now, Joe, for viewers that don't know Tony Finn, you can check out any of our other shows. You know how high that is, Joe. That's how high you got to be to get this horse. This is a horse that was claimed for $25,000 a few starts ago. And they put him in a grade 1 stake race going for $700,000. This horse has 2 wins. They were both cheap races that the horse won. I don't know what they were thinking. The only thing I can figure is when they dropped the entry in the entry box, they put it in the wrong number race because there's no reason this horse should be in here. This is an absolute pitch for me. If this horse hits the ticket, well, obviously I will not have a winning ticket, but I will be out there, probably needing to call Tony to, ease the pain of this one, because I can't see So High on any circumstance. 7 horses could fall down, and this horse will still find a way to lose.
Woo, man, I got to tell you, that sounds like a long shot. I don't know, but you might be eating a few moons over Miami before it's all said and done back in So High. All right, Sig, we're going to move to Channel Cat here, number 5, 10-1 morning line here. Just had a pretty good speed figure there, I believe, in the Elkhorn last time out. So talk to me about Channel Cat and the chances of hitting the board.
Yeah, Joe, he's now 6 years old, but this horse just keeps on running, keeps on showing up and running every race. Basically, either hitting the board or being a contender in here. Strong effort last out, you just said, in the Elkhorn Stakes at Keeneland. He finished second there. He prefers a softer surface, which he should get with some possible rain tonight and tomorrow morning. He loves this distance with in the money finishes in all 3 of his starts at 1 3/8 miles. And I think it took Jack Sisterson, the trainer, a few races to get to know this one. He came from the Todd Pletcher barn, and then the connections transferred him to Jack Sisterson for training. I think he's going to be overlooked here in the betting, like I said, with Brown, Clement, and Mike Maker all having entries in this field. And I think this horse has a chance to upset, depending on how the pace comes. He's a long shot contender in this field, in my opinion, and I think he needs to be on your tickets.
All right, Marco, moves us to number 6 here, Sham Rocket. We got Pletcher and Castellano here, so that's a pretty good combination on any board. 15-1, interesting number here. Your thoughts on Sham Rocket?
Yeah, the reason why this horse is 15-1, even though this horse, 13 career starts, Joe, if you use this horse in every race in the exacta box, you would have had 12 of the 13 races. Only once has this horse run off the board. So why is it 15-1? Well, if you take a look at the races been running, this horse had a lot of attempts to break its maiden before it finally did. Was getting checks, and those are nice when they come in the mail, but you don't get your picture taken finishing second and third all the time. Finally broke its maiden. Moving up in class, I just don't think he's quite as good as these horses. Does he deserve a shot? Well, Todd Pletcher, a lot of times you'll see a Pletcher horse in there and say, why did he put this one in there? Was it a horse that he owes it to the owners because they spent a ton of money? For Todd Pletcher price horses, this isn't really one of them. Yeah, it was a $130,000 yearling purchase, but we've seen some much bigger tickets come down with the hammer for Todd Pletcher at the sales. So I'll give this horse a shot, a look here, but there are so many better here. This horse, best shot, I think, would be the bottom end of the superfecta in this race. Does have 2 speed figures in the last 3 races that would put him competitive, but that means he has to run back to his best time to get close to the other horses. I see other horses in here better off. I'm passing on Sham Rocket.
All right, moving on from Sham Rocket, we're going to head to number 7, Field Pass here, Sig. Pretty much unproven at longer distances here, but we've seen Mike Maker be pretty good at stretching horses out here. 6-1 morning line. What do you think of Field Pass with our boy Luis Saez on him?
Well, Joe, I'm going to get the Field Pass in a second, but since Marco passed up the opportunity, I got to tell you, Sham Rocket has had more second-place finishes than the Buffalo Bills.
Oh!
That's why you got to avoid them.
Yeah.
All right, let's get the Field Pass here. This is close to the one that gave me the most problems handicapping this race. Mike Maker is known for stretching out his turf horses, but 1 1/8 is the furthest his horse has ever been asked to go. He appreciates soft turf, which he should get on Saturday, but I still have a ton of questions about the colt. I'm going to use this horse on a few exotic tickets because of Mike Maker's history on the turf, but I have too many doubts to consider him a win contender in here. So I'll use him on my exotics, but I'm not a big fan of Field Pass.
All right. Well, that leaves us, I believe, with one left here, Marco, and I believe that is going to be. Gufo. Look at this number 8 here, Clement Rosario. Joe Rosario, talk to us here. It is, of course, the morning line. I believe the favorite at 2-1 here in this matchup. So tell me what you think here of number 8, Gufo.
Am I supposed to just pass this over to Sig because the horse is 2-1? I actually got a contender to deal with here.
Good point.
Number 8, Gufo, is the horse to beat in this race. The horse is making his first start of the year. Comes in off a very good work last time out, indicating this horse is ready to go. And we always talk about Mike Maker and Bill Mott, on the turf, and how these guys do well. But I'll tell you what, when it comes to New York turf racing, Chad Brown, that name comes to mind right away. But there's not many better than Christopher Clement. This guy has dominated turf racing, had another big year last year, especially at the Saratoga meet. And I'm not going to discount this horse being ready right out of the gate. You look at this horse last year, model of consistency, 6 starts last year, 4 wins, a second and a third. I said, coming off a big workout last time out, you pick up Joel Rosario, and Rosario had his choice. This looked like a pretty easy choice. He could have went with the 7 or the 8 in this one. He did go and stick with the 8 horse, telling us who he thinks is the better horse. And you know I love using that angle when handicapping the horses. So I'm going to go with a good turf trainer. I'm going to go with one of the best jockeys in the country in Joel Rosario. And I'm going to go with a horse that's coming off a very sharp workout. And first off the bench, I think he gets the job done. This is the horse to beat, number 8, Gufo.
All right, there you go, guys. Belmont, we're talking Man O' War Stakes. Those are your 8 entries there. We'll get to the best bets in just a second. Quick reminder, though, Sig coming off of that pick 5 there at yesterday, as a matter of fact, making some folks an awful lot of dough here. And his Churchill report there last night, as well as all his daily racing reports, available at WagerTalk.com. And they are always available, guys, on race days by 9 a.m. Eastern time. All you have to do, of course, is visit Sig at wt.buzz/Sig. That's wt.buzz/Sig. Get those daily racing reports. They are available 9 a.m. Eastern time each and every race day. All right, Marco, talk to me here, my friend. I know you've got number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. We're going to make a lot of money here. So come on, talk to us. Where are you going here on this Man O' War Stakes?
Well, I'm going with the number 8 horse on top, as I just discussed it in detail. I'm going to go with my second choice, number 7, Field Pass. And I know the concern is, can this horse get the distance? This is a horse that, again, like we said with a couple of the other horses, 3-year-old turned 4. They're a little bit more mature, and now's the time to go ahead and find out if they can stretch this horse out. And when it comes to making decisions on the grass, there's nobody that I'm not going to ever question Mike Maker. We've seen this guy turn horses around that weren't even racing on the grass. He would claim a horse and put him on the grass and turn him into a great turf horse. If he thinks this horse can handle the distance, then I'm going to believe him. And he's coming second off the layoff. I like third off the layoff the best, but there is always a big jump from the first to the second. Well, you look at that last race with Field Pass, he made a big move, top of the stretch, got into position, looked like he was going to go by, then flattened out a little bit, and then finished 4th by 3 lengths. I think he needed that start. We'll see more out of him today. I'm going to put the 1 horse, the European Invader, coming in here, Sovereign. You got to use that horse. Looks like one of the top horses on paper. And then for my 4th spot, I'm going with the number 5 horse, Channel Cat. Again, this is a horse with Johnny V. I like the way this horse is raced. He came off last start, strong second. I look for him to improve. That was his second start of the year, and that closes it out for me, 8-7-1-5 in the Man O' War.
Let's do it. Book it here. All right, Sig, let's see how many odd horses you have in there on your sheet. What 4 horses are you going with here tomorrow?
Well, Joe, I ended up with 3 odd horses on my ticket, but my top choice in here did end up being an even horse. We did give Marco one to talk about, Guffo. I think we're going to get a lot of value of Guffo here. I think the Chad Brown runner, Sovereign, the 1 horse, is going to get a lot of attention at the betting windows based on his history, based on the connections of Irad and, Chad Brown. And I expect him to sit on a really nice trip here and be running late. Joel Rosario is the best jockey, in my opinion, at timing that late run. I think they're going to get a slow pace in here early, so I think it's going to set up pretty well for him to have a lot left in the tank. I think Guffo makes a big run here late. I did use Zayat here, who I think is going to be sitting on a big race as my second choice. Sovereign, you can't discount here. I think all 3 of those, I think, are top win contenders. I think you could just box those up there on Exacta. And then I did lay it on Channel Cat. The old man at 6 now just keeps on running and keeps on hitting the board and being a part of the mix here in every race. So 8-3-1-5 is how I saw this race.
All right, 8-3-1-5, guys. Plenty of opportunities here to make it. Pretty profitable weekend, not only at the track, but keep in mind, guys, Marco on fire, NBA, a ridiculous 31-10, guys. He has just been lighting it up. The NBA season, getting ready for the playoffs. Plenty of opportunities for you to hop on with Marco as well with an all-access pass. In fact, if you buy 30 days, You're going to get 30 days free right now if you visit Marco's page at WagerTalk.com. It's a great deal, guys. Buy one, get one. 60 days, all access. Every play, every sport, including Marco's plays coming up in things like the Belmont or the Preakness. And, of course, what's going to happen in the NBA and Major League Baseball. And don't forget, SIG Daily Racing Reports available each and every day by 9 a.m. Eastern Time, guys. Visit both of these gentlemen at WagerTalk.com. Let's make it a very profitable start to the weekend here. And, of course, over the next 30 to 60 days. Take advantage, guys. Visit them at WagerTalk.com. Man of War at the Belmont. Preakness just around the corner. And, of course, we'll be back again next week for you, getting you ready for it here as the Triple Crown continues to move forward, and so do we. So on behalf of Marco D'Angelo and SIG, guys, make sure you hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner. Come back, make plans, and join us again next Friday for another edition of Pony Pundits. Best of luck, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
For a limited time, 30-day all-access passes are discounted from $349 to $199, saving you $150 and coming out to just